Hey guys, welcome to my run on the 6 Warrior Quest, Area 5. Really hands down to the devs on this stage in particular because it can be quite challenging if you're going in blind, and I highly recommend to familiarize yourself with the mechanics on this stage because as you can see there are 3 different enemies on this stage and they each have their own different HP triggers. The party that I use here is party 1 consisting of Seed Rains, the twins with the newly released FR, and followed by Lunafreya in party slot number 3. For party 2, I have Garnet with 5/5 staff ultimate weapon, which also means that Lunafreya is not using an ultimate weapon. Alongside Garnet, we have Quina and Penelo, and Penelo is actually going to be the main force user in this strategy. Overall, this run is going to be a no boss turn, 1 force time run done in 8 turns total. That being said, the trickiest thing about this strategy is controlling the damage. You do want to control damage so that you bring boss C, which is the golem, to specific HP thresholds at specific parts of the fight, and I'll cover that more as we continue along the fight. So at the start, it is pretty hard to win the force race because the enemies gain 4% force gauge anytime you take an action, which also means that you do not want to waste needless actions doing stuff like additional abilities and such. At the start, I had Seed Rains go first, and he used the Seymour LD call to delay and dispel the bosses before ending his turn with BT+. Now coming to Lunafreya's turn, again the key here is not to go overboard with energy heals. This is the max amount of energy heals that you can use with Lunafreya, and if you go any more beyond that, you will lose the force gauge race. Anyway, as you can see, midway through Lunafreya's rotation, I temporarily swapped her out for Garnet, and I had Garnet use BT Plus followed by the Preach LD call. This is to sort of prepare Garnet because I will be bringing her up when the shields are active. Preach LD call is to double Garnet's brave hits because I will be using one of her overhead attacks to deal with one of the shields that Boss C will grant. Once you've done BT Plus and the Preach call, you can swap back to Lunafreya. And here I did 1 awakening, 1 energy heal, and 1 BT Plus to get her BT aura up. After the BT Plus, I do 1 more LD just to get 1 free skill use before I go into BT mode. At this point, the boss is significantly ahead in force gauge compared to you, but this is where Lunafreya's BT mode comes in. The only goal here is to charge your force gauge. In case you're wondering why I did S2 here, main reason is I want to not do so much damage to Boss C. That's right, you want to minimize damage to Boss C as much as possible. If you use EX or FR, it does equal damage and Boss C will take more damage. Using S2, Boss C takes only splash damage, which is significantly lower. This part is quite key. You must use LD 3 turns away from her BT finisher. Do not use it any earlier or you will run out of quick prayer. After using LD, you will get 2 more uses of energy heal, so pop both of them to win the force gauge race. Immediately after coming out of BT mode, Lunafreya's job is done, so get her the hell out, and unfortunately for her, she will not be coming back in ever again. Quina here doesn't have a call, because from testing, you cannot fit 1 more call ability. The boss will enter force time if you try to. Speaking about call abilities, the Aerith call is mandatory. Her call applies the Seal Evil Debuff, which prevents the bosses from rebuffing themselves. I guess alternatively, you could potentially try to land 8 frame debuffs on the bosses, maybe using something like a Faris call instead if you don't have Aerith. but you do need something to prevent them from buffing themselves later in the fight. One key thing here is that you want boss C to hit 90% health or 91% health just as Seed Rain starts its turn, so it's very important to keep a very close eye on damage. In this fight, boss C will normally apply shields at 89%, 59% and 29% health. The strategy that I'm taking here is to kill boss C from 30% to 0 in one hit, so that you at least bypass one round of shields. With twins, all you're doing is BT plus and the Aerith call, save the twins' quick prayer. Penelo comes in, use one S2 to finish charging the force gauge, and here I think it's one of the best calls for this fight, the Vidya LD call. Honestly, if you have Vidya LD call, I highly recommend to use it. The call is not for the evasion, the call is for the true water imperil. When the bosses put up the shields throughout the fight, they will absorb certain elemental damage. You bypass all of it by landing Vidya True Water Imperil. With that Imperil, as long as you are water enchanted, you actually ignore every single elemental absorption or null, and you're guaranteed to hit for weakness damage. Anyway, with Penelo, just spin until there are exactly 6 turns of force time remaining, 6 turns, and then end her turn with BT+. Now damage check here, if after using BT+, boss C drops below 90% health, it will trigger the shield and you must reset. This is why I mentioned damage control is very important. Here, boss C is at 91%, the lowest you can let it go is 90%, to not hit 89% or lower. With that, Reigns will get his turn finally, and you use the Force Echoes on Reigns to bring the boss below 90% health and trigger the first round of shields. This is quite key because Reigns' single target damage is pretty high, and the goal here is to bring the boss as close to 59% as possible. Now for the shields, you don't need Quina anymore because the bosses will also absorb up to 50 million HP damage, so even if you're doing max HP damage, you'll still be hitting for zeros. So this is where I swap Quina out for Garnet, and Garnet using her first echoes to deal with the 200,000 shield. As I'm going along, just a little bit about how the shield works. When the boss C hits 89, 59 and 29%, it will grant all enemies a 200,000 Brave shield and a 50 million HP damage shield. Essentially just forget about doing HP damage, you aren't going to crack through that. To dispel the shield, you need to do 200,000 Brave damage to break through the Brave shield. However, once that's done, the boss will apply a 300,000 Brave shield immediately, and once you break through that, the boss will reapply a 500,000 Brave shield. So essentially you need to break through 3 shields, and it needs to be done sequentially. So this is where twins come in. Twins' LD and FR can break through any of the shields, including the 500,000 Brave shield. Garnet has broken through the 200,000 shield, so here I use 2 of Twins' LD, save the echoes. Use 2 of Twins' LD to break through the 300,000 and the 500,000 shield. Importantly, as you're doing this, keep the targeting cursor at C because you want to save the launch on boss A and boss B. If done correctly, you will see the protection crumbled text prompt to tell you that the shields are gone, so this is where you bring Quina back in for the HP damage boost once more. I think Quina will need a 5/5 ultimate weapon because ideally what you want is Quina bringing boss C to 59% health. So as you can see, it is pretty tricky. This also means that you want to start with Seed Rain's turn when the boss is as close as possible to 90% health, but not under that, so that it's easier for Quina to bring the boss to 59% health. I just managed to do it. So at this point, you go through another round of shields, so I swap Seed Rains out for Twins once more, and then continue using Mega Flare. At this point, Garnet's Eidolon Eternal Darkness often attacks will come in, and this will help you to break through the 300,000 shield, meaning that this is the final shield, the 500,000 one, and then you're home free. I used a Force Echoes here because it's instant turn, because I do want Twins to get one more turn after this. Here I was thinking a little bit on what to do. The next goal is to bring Boss C to as close as 30% health, but not under it. If you bring it below 30% health, your run has ended and you need to reset. So I was thinking what's the best course of action to achieve this, and I decided to pop summon. Here I decided to go for Twins' Mega Flare and save the last Echoes instead, because if you use Echoes here it will be instant turn and Twins will get another turn again. I'm actually more interested in passing his turn to someone else, so I used the last LD here. Boss C is at 40% health, and here I was really thinking what to do because the boss still has another 10% health to go, and I'm not sure if using Queena's Echoes will be too much damage or not. I decided to just risk it in the end and use his Echoes here. Luckily, Boss C is at exactly 30% health here, which is perfect. So this is where I swap Garnet out for Seed Rains and have him use his Force Echoes on Boss C. Because Quina is out, Seed Rains is guaranteed to do maximum HP damage here. So these Force Echoes at 99% will kill Boss C, which means that you bypass the 29% shields completely. As a point of reference, the 29% shield is the only shield that you can bypass completely. I've actually tried to bring the Boss C from 90% to 59% in one hit, and although that goes through 2 thresholds, unfortunately it doesn't bypass the shield. If that happens, Boss C will go through 1 round of shields and then will immediately go through the second round of shields after the first, so there's no way to bypass the first 2 rounds of shields. Now that that's done, it's just a matter of mopping up Boss A and B. Since Quina is out of Echoes, I bring Garnet back in and use her Echoes here, and Twins also has 1 more Echoes, so this is a very comfortable finish. There is still a bit of room here. As you can see, I could still use Twins' EX after this at 99% to really finish off the fight. All in all though, the ultimate weapons on Seed Rains and Quina is pretty important, because those two are the ones that bring the Boss C to specific thresholds, and of course Seed Rains needs to finish off the boss from 30% to 0 in one hit. Anyway, that's it for this fight. As always, I hope the video has been helpful, and if you enjoyed the content, do leave a like, comment or subscribe. It really helps a lot. Till then, I'll see you guys in the next Shinryu fight. Bye!